Hello friends and fans of the Montreal Canadiens, have a great Monday everyone. In today's video, we'll talk about a trading rumor that's been making waves behind the scenes. Check if you are subscribed here on the channel so you don't miss any Habs updates that we publish here on the channel. We're at the point of free agency where the word bargain starts to come into play a little more. The top dollar deals aren't there now, but low-cost depth pieces are still available. Playoff-bound teams will have their eye on veterans to fill specific roles. But what about teams that are rebuilding? Is there much left for them on the open market? Noah Gregor is the type of player that could catch the eye of some of those teams. Just 25, the winger has shown some physicality early in his career that would play well in the bottom six with enough offense to potentially make him an intriguing addition for someone. Gregor is coming off his only full NHL season, one that saw him set a career high in goals with 10 despite missing 25 games. The year before that, he had 23 points despite clearing waivers and spending 7 weeks on an AHL assignment. San Jose opted to try someone else in that role back in June, declining to tender him a qualifying offer of just under $1 million that would have also given him salary arbitration rights. The consistency hasn't always been there, but he's young enough that there is still room for improvement. If that improvement happens, Gregor could be a quality under-the-radar pickup for someone in the coming weeks. With 2 years of club control through restricted free agency, it could be more than a one-year pickup for whoever lands him. From an NHL perspective, the teams that make the most sense for Gregor are ones that are rebuilding or are lacking some depth on the wing. But if a team is eyeing Gregor as someone to try to sneak through waivers, just about anyone is a viable option. For the purpose of this exercise, we'll focus on the potential NHL openings. In the East, Buffalo has a short-term roster opening with Jack Quinn out for the first few months due to a torn Achilles tendon. They could fill that spot internally with someone like Lukas Rousek, or they could turn to a player like Gregor that might be a better fit style-wise in a lower role on the depth chart. Montreal moved out 2 wingers Sunday in their portion of the Erik Karlsson trade, and could view Gregor as a possible replacement for one of them to replenish some of that forward depth. Washington has a short-term opening with Max Pacioretty likely out to start next season, and Gregor could be a better fit for them over Joe Snively, who wasn't quite as impactful in his NHL duty last season compared to 2021-22. Out west, Isaac Lundstrom's Achilles injury has opened up a spot up front, with Gregor being a young enough fit to potentially be around beyond a single season. Nashville's current depth chart has some forwards that are relatively safe bets to get through waivers, so adding Gregor could give them a small boost on the fourth line and bolster their depth. If Minnesota is able to afford an extra forward, they need to re-sign Calen Addison first. Gregor would fit in a bottom six group that plays with a bit of an edge. Gregor is almost certain to be looking at a contract that is going to carry an NHL salary of $775,000, the league minimum. Depending on how long it takes for him to sign, there might even be a relatively pricey two-way portion. But in terms of what's still out there, there aren't many players left with potentially a little more upside while being controllable for a couple more years. That makes Gregor one of the more intriguing under-the-radar options left on the open market. If you think that Noah Gregor can be a good reinforcement for the Habs, leave the like strongly in the video. Click now on the video that is appearing on your final screen, and check out now the great comeback for the Canadiens that stirred fans on the web. Until the next video. Go Habs!